Welcome back. I hope we're jamming. I hope we're working on the first stuff we talked about. If you don't remember, we're just jamming on these first bottom three strings. Okay, we're in open D tuning. It's D, A, D, F sharp, A, D, bottom three strings. And then we're adding some of the higher stuff. And we've talked a little bit about that. Okay, so for starters, we're not doing tabs. Okay, we're going to use this. One of the things that I think that really hindered me when I first started playing was I used a lot of tabs for guitar. I didn't have tabs for lap steel. I used a lot of tabs, and I used my eyes instead of my ears. And seeing things like, right, real simple sort of rhythms and things, but things that I would try to practice. Okay, it's three. And I was trying to count out how many were palm muted, as opposed to just going, okay, let me listen to it and where is it accented, and then trying to follow along. That is a more important lesson than any piece of technique I can show you, is using your ears. It's one of the things that has really impacted my playing more than anything else. How do I make the notes sound the way somebody else did? The Derek Trucks, I still can't do it, but the way he has that sort of singing sort of thing is so special. And there's those guys, there's AJ Gent and Johnny Stachella, and these slide players that can get this really vocal sort of slide thing going on that I still try to emulate, and I'm working on it. But it's about listening and playing, because the notes aren't that hard. And that's with everything. That's the point. The notes aren't that hard. It's not about playing the most difficult thing or the most challenging thing, even though that can look impressive. Music is not about being impressive. Music is about, hitting something here, or at least for me it is. And again, I want to reiterate over and over again, these are just my opinions, that if I'm going to do a YouTube channel and we're going to try it, I don't know if anybody wants to watch this, but I have to do it my way. And the same thing is going to be true for playing lap steel, and the same thing I hope is true for you playing lap steel, is find your way. Use your ears. Find your techniques. Find your way. Find your favorite bar and your favorite finger picks. We talked about that in the first video, but it doesn't matter. These little things, what kind of strings do you use? They don't matter. The thing that matters is using your ear and trying to get the sound that you're looking for. So based on that, let's now talk about some technique stuff. But the most important thing, we're not going to do tabs, because the most important thing is using this. So one thing that can be cool, one thing that's a fun exercise, is especially if you're new, right? If you're new to this instrument, or you're new to any instrument or whatever, is for 1 second turn away from the computer. Turn the computer around, turn yourself around. I like my swivel chair because it makes me feel fancy, right? So turn around so you're not facing the computer, and then play this note. Okay? If you didn't find it, pause it real quick, play this note. If that's not something you can find on your instrument, try singing it to yourself. But you want to find that note. Being able to find the notes, being able to use your ear, right? Okay, you found that note. Now play. Okay, play those two notes. If you can't find them, just wait, try again. Sing them one at a time. Right? It's just something that you can do with your friends. Sit back to back, play a note, have them play the note, play a lick, have somebody else play the lick. The idea is to train your ears so you can hear what's happening, because that's the most important thing. I want to talk today, we have this groove that we've been working on, and we're going to keep using the same strings. Okay, so we have that groove, and we can use other grooves. We've talked about finding your own groove, continuing to experiment. We have the pentatonic scale in the open strings. Woo! Okay, I'll do that slow real quick, but I want you to use your ears. That might not even have been the same thing. I have a really hard time playing the same thing over and over again. It's part of my charm. It's part of my thing. It's just been part of my lifestyle as a player for as long as I can remember. Okay, so we've got all that covered. Now we're gonna go up to the 12th fret, which, if you didn't know, are the same notes as the open strings, an octave up. So we have this groove. I'm just playing the 12th fret. I am playing right now the low string and the high string. The low 6th string and the top 2 strings with these 2 fingers. Okay, we have the scale up here. We're missing one note, it's the 3rd. Similar to down here, we're missing just one little section on the low 3. Doesn't matter. Don't worry about that right now. If you haven't got it yet, slow it down. I want you to use your ear. I'm using the 12th fret, and the 10th fret for the most part. But the scale is there, and if you use your ear, you're gonna find where each note is. You're gonna be able to see it. You're gonna be able to hear it. Okay. Use your ear. Find those notes. One of the notes is on the 11th fret. What we're going to do, though, is we're going to get even simpler than that. For now, I'm going to use the top 2 strings, 12th fret, and at the 10th fret. Same thing we were doing before. We're going to add little licks in between the rhythmic part. Now, I'm going to go up high. It's very restrictive to use those 2 notes, but we've talked about this before, but restricting yourself to using just a few notes means as we expand, we're going to have a lot more options. Making sure that you're able to repeat notes, knowing where your roots are, knowing what feels good to stop on. Right? We're going to find our notes. And I want you to play with just those 2 notes. And pause the video here and just do that. Just play with those 2 strings, those 4 notes, okay? Hard and soft, being able to repeat certain notes. Knowing where to stop and where to not stop. It's a weird place to stop. That's better. It's the best. Okay. Now, I'm going to move down. I hope you've paused it. I hope you've taken a break. I hope you've jammed with those notes. Okay. The more I do that, the more I find new options and more things. But now we're going to move down. I'm going to move to the middle 3 strings, and there's a reason for that. 5th string, 12, and 10. 5th string. That's the 2nd string. 2nd string, 12 and 10. 3rd string on the 11. 4th string, 12 and 10. So we have, okay, this is still pentatonic scale. It opens up a lot of options as far as being able to move through the scale. And I a lot of times fall in that 3rd. Same as our groove down here. But I'm going to explore that area. Okay, so I want you to do the same thing. I want you to pause it, and I want you to jam on these 3 strings. Practice going up. Practice coming down. Practice going back and forth. The speed takes time. All of this takes time. It takes time sitting there and just practicing. Okay? The MK thing is annoying me, so I hope it's not annoying you, but I'm working on it. If you're looking for the technique stuff, Mike Witcher, Lessons with Troy, those guys are going to have the right techniques for how to alternate pick. I don't even know what those would be. A lot of times I'm alternating between my thumb and my first finger. Or if I'm coming down from the top, I have my middle finger on the highest string I'm playing, the first finger on the middle string I'm playing, and the thumb on the lowest string. And then those will move if I'm changing from area to area. But right now we're on 2, 3, 4. I added an extra note and I apologize. We're on 2, 3, and 4. Still added an extra note. These are my things that I need to work on. I need to jam up here and not add those extra notes. There we go. Try to keep the groove going. This is something I can work on too, right? I keep adding extra notes and I keep doing things that are not the exercise that I'm talking about. So I could work on this too. And this is, I think, another really key point is these exercises don't get old ever. They're perfect for a newcomer. They're perfect for someone who's been doing this for a long time. The same rules apply. Trying to restrict myself to then work within these confines is gonna make me a better player. So if I'm gonna sit here and I'm gonna jam on this, now try to keep the groove going. The groove is the most important part. I can play one note. And that's way more important than playing a bunch of notes and losing the groove. If you can keep adding notes into the groove, now it's gonna make you a better player. And again, putting a drum machine on, something where it's fun, where you're sitting there and you have that, this is an 8th note swing. If you know, if you're using GarageBand, or I don't know about GarageBand. If you're using Logic, though, Logic has Logic Drummer, and you can program an 8th note swing into the drummer. So you gotta click on the drummer, and then you gotta click on the bottom right, there's a thing that says swing, 8th note. I would go about 60%. Now, the last one is the bottom 3 strings, right? We've talked about the top 2, we've talked about the middle 3, let's talk about the bottom 3. The bottom 3 are a tricky bunch because it's a power chord. So I really treat them more as sort of one string. That's not totally true, but for now, we'll treat them as one string. So, same thing. Treating them as one string, we can add them into the licks. And that's what we're going to work on. So I want you to, now we have 3 areas to work. We have the groove. I can jam on that all day. All day. And so I hope that you will take some time with this. Between the first video, the second video, and this video, we're playing the key of D. We're just not the key of D, we're playing the chord D. We haven't done any chord changes, nothing. Trying to find as many things, don't jump ahead too much. Try to, I know it's hard, but try to have a little bit of patience and enjoy this part of the process, the learning part, and get into the areas of trying to work within really, really restricted surroundings. If you can do that, then every time we expand it a little bit, you have a little more control over what you're doing. I promise you it's worth it. So please try not to jump ahead too much. Stay where you are and work within some really restricted confines and try to have fun with it, because there's so many variations just in the notes that we've talked about. We haven't talked about any of the middle of the fingerboard yet at all. We're really like 1 to 3, although there's a couple notes on 5 we've talked about. And then 10 and 12, right? So between 5 and 10, we've done nothing yet. It's coming. It's coming. I have a little pocket here in the middle that I use a lot, and then we connect them all together, and we have these great big fun runs. But start here. Please don't jump ahead too fast. These are great exercises for me, and so I hope they'll be great exercises for you too, to really sit and jam and take your time and enjoy yourself. I hope you will stick with me. I hope you will enjoy yourself. I hope you will find joy in the groove, because that's where it's supposed to be. It's not about the fancy stuff. It's about just that deep groove. I hope you'll enjoy it. I hope you join me, and I hope we keep doing this. I'm actually having a lot of fun, which I wasn't sure I was going to. So I hope you are too.